Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film fam, and welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name's Dion.
And my name is Scott.
And today we're doing the 2009 sci-fi thriller District 9. And if you're new to the show, each week Scott and I pick a movie, discuss our thoughts, we talk behind the scenes, and close off with our award show called The Filmies, so stick around for that. However, this is a special time of the year. It's the real March Madness, or real with two E's, and where we hand it over to the family. We picked 16 movies, 4 genres. We got 4 winners out of it, picked by the family. Voted on by the family, I should say. We had Train to Busan that won the thriller/horror. There Will Be Blood that won drama, and District 9 won action/sci-fi. And then next week we're going to be doing Rush Hour, which won comedy, but more on that next week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Film Room Pod to be part of our next pooling event, because we do these pretty often. But with that being said, Scott, what were your thoughts on District 9? And this is your first time watching it.
Yeah, this was my first time, and I loved it.
Oh, nice.
It was so unique, the style, like the found footage, like documentary hand cam kind of style. We've seen this kind of thing before, but like I feel like it's almost always like in more of a horror type movie. Like there's meant to be jump scares and stuff, and like this one, there's not really any horror. Like it's a thriller for sure, but there's not really meant to be jump scares or anything. I think it's like the story and the characters is what's really most important about it. But like just the concept of like the aliens living amongst people. Yeah. And like seems so like grounded and real. Like normally the aliens, we're fighting them off the bat. But this one, like they started to at least try and live together, and just the way that they were like interacting with each other, like it was so normal. It was so weird. I'd never seen anything like that before, really, in a movie.
Yeah, no, I think that's what makes the movie so special too, because I really enjoyed it too. This was a rewatch for me, but I haven't seen the movie since like it came out, so it literally felt like I was watching it for the first time. And to your point too, it's just like I remember it. I mean, again, I was 13 years old when I watched it like in theaters, and I just remember being like a surface level alien versus humans like action movie, like as you would like, because this movie gets deeper than that obviously with like the themes that it's playing with. But as a kid, like a 13-year-old, I don't know anything about that. So I just forgot that it was I knew it was shot in South Africa. Like I remember that for some reason, but I forgot it was actually like centered around South Africa. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just pick like a shoot, like, oh, shot in Toronto, but like the movie's not actually like in Toronto. It's supposed to be like New York or something like that. Like I forgot that aspect of the movie, and I was like, oh shit, like this is like a South African movie basically.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty like pertinent to the area, because like I read that it was inspired by District 6, which was in real life an inner city area in Cape Town that was declared whites only in 1966. And 60,000 people were forcibly removed from their homes. So like it's very similar to like what that was in real life, playing the parallels. That was a black-white thing. This is an alien human thing, but it's the same parallel. And like South Africa and racism are, go hand in hand basically. I mean, the whole world does. We suck as humans. But...
No, 100%. But no, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up too, because I had that written down too, because like the apartheid, that's like the whole thing that happened, which is crazy. I didn't realize how long it went for, like from 1948, to 1994. Like,
isn't that crazy? Like it feels like it was anytime there's any like really bad stuff, we always assume it was so long ago. Yeah, and it really wasn't. No, like we were born in 96.
Exactly,
like you said, it ended in 94, and it's just insane, man.
No, really is, because you just think about like our parents were alive and just doing their things when these things were happening. It's just like, it's just like you said, the whites only thing, because like they had the racial classifications where just like they had like whites, black, colored, and Indian, which is interesting because like and then like they had like the segregation areas for it's like different housing, education, employment, public. Like to think that happened all the way till 1994 is wild.
I know, but like it is wild to think that that stuff was happening and like we feel like it's so bad, but like if you think about it, there's tons of horrible stuff going on still
No,
today. And
yeah,
I mean,
100%. Yeah,
it's the stuff over in the Middle East, and you
yeah.
have the stuff in down in the States even that's getting a little crazy.
No, 100%.
But I don't know. That's enough of my pessimism for the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what the movie is, though. It's not a
Yeah, true.
pessimistic movie, but like we're just talking about. I feel like we'd be doing a disjustice if we didn't talk about like what the underlying themes of the movie
Yeah, for
are.
sure.
Like it's a big
Yeah.
part of it. It's like that's what the parallel is. So
Yeah,
like,
humanity and equality. And I mean, when we have like Wickus,
mhm.
he starts out and he's on the human side. Like he doesn't really respect these things. He calls them prawns, which they
Yeah,
establish as a derogatory term.
mhm.
And he calls them prawns even throughout. Like he never
Yeah,
stops doing this, which I found kind of weird as he even like grew to appreciate them, and like he's becoming one. So
yeah,
he's learning that just how to live with this.
mhm.
But the way that he kind of the irony of him becoming more humane as he becomes less human,
Yeah.
as
No,
he
it's true.
turns into I literally they're do they have a name? Do they
I
have an
think they just
actual
called them
name?
aliens. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know
you're
if
right.
they. Yeah, I think they were just aliens. Yeah, which again, yeah, just call them aliens. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, to keep calling them prawns. Like he knows what the term is,
Right.
and I wonder about that too. Because you're saying as he feels more like I guess like sympathetic or like he feels like
Empathetic, I guess.
apathetic for them. Did he really though? That's like the real question. Or he just realized that he was in a state where he needed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get I guess more just kind of like at the end when he helps Christopher like get to his
Mhm.
kid, and cuz he didn't have to do that.
No, it's true. It's a good point.
I think it's he's definitely, you're right. I mean, you're right that he's using him to try and get on the ship so he can fix his arm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like he grows a little bit more of a respect for him.
No, I agree, but I think I lean somewhere closer to like the center where or almost more to the other side too, because this movie wasn't a guy that figured out, oh, they're doing these crazy tests on these guys. Like I feel bad for them. Like, let me see if I can help them. The
Mm,
only reason he wants to help them is because he needs their help, kind of thing. Like there's no there is that little things like I didn't know they were doing this to you guys, but like
yeah.
even if he did find out, I don't know if that's something that would have flipped him. Just because like the way we see him in the beginning, and we'll go also get more into it, but just the way he treats him at the beginning, like he's not a good guy. He's not someone that you kind of like. If you at the beginning, I mean, at the beginning you don't really feel a way. I think about the aliens because you're just kind of seeing them. We don't make any connection to them, but the way
Yeah.
he's treating them so less than, and just the way that they're like just depicting them, he's not a great guy.
No. No, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. You're
Yeah.
right. And yeah, well, you're right. We get that moment when he's being rolled through and he's like, "Wait, what are you doing to all these prawns? Like, why are you?"
Mhm.
He didn't know that they were doing this.
Yeah.
And but when they get the guns and he's testing the guns, and then they actually bring one in, and he's
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm not going to shoot that. Like, I'll shoot the pig. I'll shoot the dead pig. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to shoot that guy." So like, I don't know. That seems genuine.
Yeah, that I'll give you that. That did seem pretty genuine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that one.
But
But
overall, I think you're right. Like, if he saw it while he was working at MNU and was like, and saw that they were doing these tests and stuff, I doubt he's. Yeah, I doubt he's really doing much.
yeah, when this I don't know, this is such a long time ago. I'm talking about like we were 13 years old when the movie came out. Do you
2009.
remember
Yeah.
this movie? Like was this ever like on your radar kind of thing, or like when like Jordan brought it up? Because I remember Jordan wanted to actually do that when he was on our pod. And
Right.
was that like kind of the first time you heard of it, or were you kind of familiar with this movie and then it was kind of like on your short list of movies that maybe you should check out?
Um. No, not really. I mean, I'd heard of it. But I kind of just thought I knew it was an alien movie. But I don't think I had seen the trailer.
Okay.
And I just kind of assumed it was like another alien movie, and I have so many other movies that like
Yeah.
are on my short list, and I didn't even know that this one was so well received. And then, yeah, you're right. When Jordan he came on, he was picking between this and Tenet,
Yeah.
and then you had mentioned, oh yeah, District 9 is a really good movie too. So I was like, oh, and that it did kind of spark it for
Mhm.
me, and that's why I picked it for the real March Madness. Why I threw it in. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I've never
okay.
seen this.
Mhm.
You guys say it's a good movie. It seems to be pretty well received. I'm interested now.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
throw it in and see if it gets picked. And people
No,
liked it enough to pick it.
yeah, and I'm glad it got picked to it. Now, as I rewatch it, I feel like I get that sense of like, okay, now I understand why people picked it. Because again, I was even saying when I first saw it on there and saw how well it was doing, I was like, I thought it was just like a really, from what I remember, I was like, I thought it was just like a really basic like alien versus humans like
Yeah.
just movie. I was like, I don't remember it being that great that it's just making its way through, chugging away through the tournament. But now that I watched, I'm like, okay, I see why people were like, no, it's a good movie. You guys should do that because yeah, it definitely worth the merit of how far it went.
Yeah. Yeah. Great movie.
Went all the way to the finals, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it went
It
all the way to the finals.
beat what did it beat in the There Will Be Blood?
There will be blood.
Beat
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood and made to the finals, and maybe if it wasn't Rush Hour, it would have had a chance to win.
Yeah,
But Rush
maybe.
Hour just smoked
It's
everybody.
just the king, man. Rush Hour is
Yeah.
king. Don't mess with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, bro.
Yeah, but our runner-up, District
Yeah.
9.
Runner up. With that being said, though, District 9, it was pretty. We were talking about how well received it was. For an indie movie. It was like $30 million budget. It was crazy to think that it was a $30 million budget because you just see a bunch of CGI and stuff, and you just assume that, especially nowadays, like $100 million minimum, $200 million minimum, like all the special effects. It wasn't crazy amount of special effects, but it ended up making like $200 million. But I have a little game for you, Scott. On some on some jigsaw shit. Let's play a game. Jigsaw.
Okay.
No, that's not that kind
Am I
of game.
endangered? You
Yeah,
ripped
no,
my
your
house?
life. Yeah, exactly. Alexis helped me out with this one.
Oh, shit.
Oxygen's about to leave the room, so you better get this right.
Okay.
No. So I got 6 movies from 2009. So my question for you, and I'm gonna set a timer so you have some like pressure on you.
Oh.
Which of these 3 movies grossed the most in 2009? Meaning gross, meaning like which made the most in 2009.
Yeah.
So not like
profit, just
not total. It's just not outside of 2009. Like not and like
I see.
just 2009, not 2009 and beyond. So I'm gonna list
Okay.
the movies, and I want you to figure out which of these was in the top 3. So remember
Okay.
what I said. What I said was very crucial. It's kind of a trick question, but
gross in 2009. Okay,
Yeah,
so there's
so-
gonna be one here that popped off later.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
exactly.
disregard it.
so first movie
I'm
we
way
got.
ahead of you, bro.
Yeah, first movie we got is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Next one, The Hangover. Twilight Saga: New Moon. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Avatar, and Up. So I sent you it on your phone. So you got
Yeah,
40. I'm giving
I
you.
got it
You're
here.
on the clock.
So I need the top 3.
Top 3.
Okay, I'm on the clock. Okay, here's my thought process.
Okay.
Avatar, I think is no Avatar. It got re-released in theaters, but it's like it might not be the highest grossing of all time. So it must have still made a lot that year. Okay, I'm gonna go with Avatar. I don't think Transformers made that much. Hangover, I know, made a ton, but that could have been after.
You got one more.
Okay, I'm gonna go Avatar.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Hangover.
Okay.
I don't think it's Up, so it's between Twilight and Harry Potter. Which was the bigger franchise? I'm gonna go Harry Potter. Okay, I'm going Hangover, Harry Potter, The Half-Blood Prince, and Avatar.
All right. Unfortunately, Scott, you only got 1 out of 3.
Damn.
So the correct answer was number 1 was Transformers.
What? No way.
Yeah. Number 2 was Harry Potter, and number 3 was Up.
So Avatar is what?
Avatar was.
They didn't make that much movie in that year. No way.
But here's the thing. This is why I said it. Why I kept repeating that, because Avatar came out December 18th.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then the other movies is
Damn
like
it.
Transformers was a summer movie. You know, Harry Potter was a summer movie.
Yeah.
Up was a summer movie. So you got more legs. That's why it's kind of a trick question. It's kind of a trick
I mean,
question.
if you gave me the release dates, then maybe I could have done something.
Nah, because then I would give it away too much.
Yeah,
if I give you the release date.
I know it for sure.
But
Yeah, because Avatar, because that's why I was going in with the mindset you were like, it was crucial that it's that year. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, did one of them, like Avatar, like I said, got re-released, and so, but it's still the highest.
It's Avatar
grossing? Or
2.
I think Endgame.
Avatar 2 is no.
Oh,
Avatar 2 is the top.
Okay, but so one of the highest gross of all time. So I was like,
Yeah.
it must have made money at release,
Oh,
even if it
100%.
got re-released. It got a bunch.
I think
But
it made
yeah,
all its money in
came out
2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was there for a week.
Yeah, exactly. That's the now you remember this though, like when you're dealing with James Cameron, or at least with Avatars. They always come out in December.
Yeah.
The last one came out in
Yeah.
December, and this one's coming out in December. So if anyone ever asks you a trivia question about Avatar making
Okay.
money, it didn't make shit within
That's
its
so
year.
specific.
Yeah.
If you ever in a trivia situation where someone asks about the Avatar movies and the year that they came out and when they came out, how much money they made, then you'll know. But
Yeah, no, it's a
honestly,
trick question.
as soon as you were like, yeah, that's the thing with Avatar, I remembered it. Like before you said it out loud, but when you like when I realized that there was something wrong, I was like, oh shit, it came out in December, didn't it? Yeah. Because the new one this year is coming out in December.
Yeah, it is. Always
Fire
a
and Ash.
Christmas, always a Christmas release. It's a good time. I mean, like usually there's not that many movies that come out, and it's like everyone's on holiday, so it's like throw some kids movie out there. Maybe throw a Nosferatu, which is not a kids movie, but
Yeah.
but sometimes it just works out that way.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
but anyway, District 9. So the way we opened up with District 9, we get the arrival and we kind of see the District 9 camp as we were kind of talking about. So what were your thoughts on kind of like the opening? Like how'd you you talked about the documentary style. What was your thoughts on how?
Yeah, the style jumped out at me. I mean, it was just interesting. And the director Neill Blomkpamp, he actually did this before. So this was based on, I don't know if you saw this, a short film that he did
Yeah.
in 2005 called Alive in Joburg. And I actually watched it, and it's 6 minutes. You could just search it on YouTube, Alive in Joburg, and it's the same. It's basically the start of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I watched
you
it
watched
too.
it too?
Yeah, because I was
Okay.
curious to see. Yeah. And I'd never seen it before too, so that was the first time seeing that. But yeah, you're right. It's like it basically is the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it's like a found footage, like documentary style, where they have interviews and they have the handheld footage of the aliens kind of
Mhm.
living amongst people and showing the poverty that they're living in. But then it ends with just overhead shots of like the city burning and stuff. So you understand there is an uprise or a big battle, but it's a short film with no budget, so obviously they couldn't do that. That's what this movie
Yeah.
turns into. But yeah, I thought it was interesting just the way they started out. Like I said, the first thing I noticed was just how normal people were with these aliens. Like they're
Yeah.
selling them stuff, and it's so weird.
Yeah, no, it is really weird, and that's what I didn't remember about it. Because from in my mind, what I remember this movie being was they we were entering the world, we're seeing that like, oh, these aliens came, and I thought it was more of like a scary thing, where it's
Mhm.
just like, oh, okay, like we're gonna try to like talk to their leader, like because like I thought the aliens kind of they picked that place, they decided like this is gonna be our space. And like the humans were kind of just like, oh, like we mean peace, like we don't want to go to war, like because we don't know what they got. Like they might have some crazy tech or whatever it is. For whatever reason, that's what I remember this movie being. I remember it being kind of like a alien, like humans walking on eggshells, and
Mhm.
it's not that at all. Like
It's the opposite.
it's
It's
the
the aliens
complete
that are
opposite.
walking on eggshells because there's humans inside District 9 that are, the weapons dealer and the guys selling meat and stuff. And
Yeah.
they seem to have all the power,
Mhm.
which is kind of crazy because the aliens are so strong. Like when they actually fight back, they're destroying the
Yeah.
humans, but they're not allowed to have weapons. So I guess that's the advantage that the humans have. They can just shoot them.
Yeah.
But it's so weird, like when there's just like two guys chopping up meat and all these aliens are. I'm like, you guys could easily overpower this guy.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they don't, but
Yeah.
I guess that just shows their humanity. They don't want to just kill us. They're
Yeah.
they're
No, it's
trying to
true.
live the right way, and we're just pieces of shit.
No, 100%. It's one of those things where like you'd wonder like why would they wouldn't just rebel or just like be like,
Right.
nah, it's like screw that. But especially because like they have their weapons are so advanced, but they just they won't want to fight back. But I think it goes to what you said about their humanity.
Yeah. I do want to jump back real quick. I want to
Okay.
we skipped our family meeting.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, we
The
got
family.
our
I almost forgot.
reunion or family
Yeah,
discussion or
yeah.
this is gonna be if you remember we were talking about this before we started recording, but if you're an OG listener to this show, and we were when we were deciding what to call like the listeners, we were always saying what Hollywood homies, film
Yeah.
family. What was the other one we had?
Cinema. I don't know if I ever said Cinema Sickles, but that was
I
on the
think you
tape.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a few that
There was
we
a
were just
couple
kind
of
of
them.
playing around with. So we're probably going to do the same thing with this until we actually decide on one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I threw up on our Instagram. Go give us a follow if you want to be a part of the conversation. I asked, what did I ask? I said, I have it right here. Oh, my phone's not zooming in. All right.
Oh, yes.
Any thoughts for us to discuss on the pod? Why did you vote for it? So pretty basic, but
Yeah.
because it was a real March Madness, and we got our boy Kobe,
Hey, okay.
the
So
honorary like third chair of the
yeah,
podcast at this point. You're a real
yeah.
one, Kobe. He said it changed my perception of alien movies as a kid. I used to be scared, but they humanized them in this.
Mm,
That's a lot of what we talked about. Is just
yeah,
like the very unique approach that they took with the aliens.
yeah.
And
No,
you
it's,
kind of said the same thing. Like you thought it was just a basic humans versus aliens movie, but
yeah.
that's not what it is.
And it's like it's one of those things too where it's like I like just to talk about kind of like how the aliens looked too because they
Mm,
didn't look terrifying, but they also didn't. It's interesting because they didn't have this human aspect to them. Like they didn't look human at all. Where it was just like, oh man, like they're treating these humans so badly. But just the kind of just the way they were like emoting themselves. Like when you see them being like, oh wait, please don't hurt me, or like some of them
right.
were aggressive, some of them weren't. But then you could kind of see the human in them, or it's like, oh yeah, they're different. Like some of them are aggressive, some of them are just like humans, even though they look like bugs.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think a big thing that helps with that too is Christopher and his kid.
Hmm.
So, you can kind of see the father son relationship that
Yeah.
humanizes them as well. And a big part of actually like their, like you said, the way they look and the character design was like they apparently they were playing around with how they wanted to design the aliens, and they were looking at a few with 4 legs, and I think one
Hmm.
even had 3 legs, but they decided to go with 2 to make them try and feel more human, so that us, like, as we, because apparently like humans, as if we see something that's not a bipod, like 2 legs,
Mm.
it just like biologically speaking, we can't relate to them on a
Mm.
human level almost, you know what I mean? So that's why they did that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, and it's just like because yeah, I would have thought it was more so in the face. I think the big eyes also help too. Like
Mm.
I saw like someone talking about like the big Pixar eyes. It's like the thing that
Yeah.
Disney does whenever they have like something like a creature, an animal. It's like yeah, it's the window into the soul, as they say. And
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
think
true. I mean, you
uh,
could see their emotion through it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, like the facial expressions, that's not. They got like these little like tentacles and all these little
Yeah.
things. It's just like I don't know what that means. Is he smiling? Is he frowning? But you can
Yeah,
kind of see it
exactly.
through like eyebrows or whatever, like way like faces like scrunch or whatever. You can
Mm.
kind of sense it.
Yeah, I think they do a pretty good job with it, which is
Yeah.
impressive for the CGI of
Yeah.
2009.
No, 100%. That's another big thing too. Even going back to a little bit of the short, like it looks pretty good too. Especially like if it's a short and you're low budget, considering the stuff that they did in that short. Like anyone
Mhm.
that yeah, I go tell like you said, I go check that out on YouTube. It's pretty interesting to see how
Yeah.
creative you can get, honestly, on a low budget, but then also trying to have aliens and ships in there. It looked good.
Yeah, I mean, you only see there's only a couple aliens in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good little short. It was interesting. I mean, that's what got this movie going.
Hmm.
It was a lot of times you have shorts that are very successful, and that's what turns into feature films. So obviously, it's a good one if it got turned into this. And this movie is great. So
Yeah. No,
go check it out.
I think that's a good point though, Kobe. That was like shout out Kobe.
Hmm.
I guess that ends our a little family reunion, but
Yeah, yeah, just
yeah,
him this week,
yeah, appreciate it, man, appreciate it.
hundred
And
percent.
again, and we're gonna do it every week. So if you guys ever want to give your thoughts or your opinions on the movies, follow us on
Yeah,
Instagram and
yeah. I mean, if you want to roast us for something we said, or you want to say, "Oh, that was a cool point," or ask a question, or say your point, anything, just hit us up. It'll
100%.
be there.
I think it's really good. Like we talked about the documentary style, and I think it's that, and you get so much compact in like I don't even know, maybe it's like 10-15 minutes of like just the world building. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like we didn't have to like go through like a extensive period of time. It might even be less than 15 minutes too. It might be like 10 minutes. We just get so much. Like they're just constantly telling us about like what happened, what's going on. This is kind of what like illegal activities happening. This is like the slums. Like you get all that. Like we don't have to like go through this journey where we see like, oh man, like this is how they're living. Like they tell us all in a way that doesn't feel like they're just dumping information on us. It's just like I just thought it was really good the way to start the movie like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It kind of maybe it doesn't feel like they're just dumping information, but that is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
literally using this style, but they're using this style to do it in an interesting way.
No,
It's not just like a
exactly.
narrator telling us this stuff.
That's what I
It's
mean, right?
it's the guy, it's the researchers or scientists or whoever they are in the interviews, and then there's obviously the carefully selected found footage that we see of them being nice or fighting, and we see all the signs of no human only or no non-human loitering around.
Yeah.
And there's even the interviews with people on the street saying like, yeah, they were here, but I don't really like them. They make me feel like they're dangerous and it's not
Yeah.
safe. And just, you're right, like they really build the world really well and put us in the feel. Like I think the feel of this movie is so unique and different, and like it's hard to explain like how the feel of a movie, but like I don't know, I just feel like the way that they make us feel like we're part of this town or
Yeah.
this place where these aliens are among us is so well done.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think it's definitely so like um it's got like this grimy, like kind of like style to it, where it just feels like it's yeah, it just feels very dystopian, but it's also like it's a mix of like this is like it's not really like a future in the sense of like the humans are still like pretty normal. Like it's just like if it was like basically today, obviously, I mean,
Hmm.
obviously now like today we have like iPhones and all these like different tiny gadgets, but it wasn't like, oh, in a distant future aliens come over kind of thing. It's like it's still supposed to be kind of like present day. They're advanced, but it's just like this perfect split of just like how the different things combine, and like there's so many of them too, and yeah, it just feels normal. Like everyone's accepted it. Like we do have the like the segregation aspect of it, but it's just like I think it helps also through there's been 28 years, and at this
Right.
point that humans can understand their clicks without even like a
Yeah, that always confused me. I was like, do they understand them? I was like, I mean, obviously the aliens understand English,
yeah.
but I feel like they kind of semi understand their clicks. I'm not really sure. I mean, Wickus obviously starts to understand like when he starts to turn. I think that was to me anyways. That was like, okay, this is how he can like fully talk to them right
Mhm.
now. Because early on, I wasn't sure. Do they understand them? Maybe I don't know.
Well, I guess maybe I don't know if it was just like reading faces and stuff like that. Because like when he thinks like, "Oh, I need your scroll," because like, he's doing his
Yeah,
whole tour guide thing, showing us around, evicting people. He's like, "Oh, I need your scroll. I need your scroll." And then when the guys were like, "No," or "Go away," he could like it felt like he understood that. I don't know if it was just like a tone thing where it's like this guy's being aggressive, so he's not like agreeing with me. Versus like if he was just like, "Okay." Then he's like, okay,
yeah,
but if he's just like, he's like, I don't know if he actually understands what they're saying because we get the subtitles,
right.
and he's reacting accordingly to what's being said. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I thought that he didn't, but I could be wrong. I really don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because like when he's talking to Christopher, and he's telling him like, "Oh, like I need you to sign this. We're gonna move you." He's like, and Christopher's like, "That's illegal. You can't do that." And he's like, "Okay, this guy's a little sharper." So it's
Mm,
like, did you actually understand what he's saying, or
that's
you?
true. Yeah,
Which is it's kind
yeah,
of a funny concept to think that like these guys like they have them in these slums and they don't take them seriously, get them segregated, and it's like these guys are less than they're prawns or whatever it is, but they took the time everyone to understand what their language.
yeah, yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
everybody knows their language even though these guys are less. Maybe it's at first it wasn't like that, but
Yeah, because I think it wasn't. I mean, in this, yeah, the exposition at the start,
yeah.
they show us that they were living among us, and then they created
Mhm.
District 9 for them. But yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, they hate them and they think they stink. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to interact with them, you'd have to learn the language.
Yeah.
And I guess, well, there is the one guy actually. Now that I think about it, the like the crime lord or whatever, the Nigerian
Yeah, yeah.
guy that lives inside, he has like the translator that talks to them.
Yeah,
So there,
Obisenjo or I think is his
yeah,
name,
so there
Obisenjo,
definitely
yeah.
is at least one. Like you can learn the language. At
Yeah.
least some of them do. Then, yeah.
No, 100%.
Hmm.
So we get like Wickus, he's like messing around in Christopher's lab, and he gets infected. Like what were your thoughts on like the transformation kind of leading up to him becoming a fugitive?
Well, as soon as he got popped with the black goo, I was like, okay, this isn't good. I didn't know it was gonna turn him into an alien,
Oh, that's good that
but
you didn't know. I wasn't sure if like maybe you saw like a spoiler like picture or anything like that.
no,
Oh,
no,
so
I
you had
had no,
no
I had no
idea.
idea. No,
Oh,
I
that's
had no
perfect.
idea. I was like, I mean, when he starts to like cough and throw up and stuff. So I'm like, okay, obviously this like something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was just gonna kill him or what would end up happening. Like when he goes to the hospital and they cut his hand open and he has the alien hand, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, no, it's good. I actually I don't know how. Well, I guess when I was like doing some research, looking up some things, I saw like a teaser trailer, and when I watched the teaser trailer, I was like, oh snap, this is like a good trailer because they don't show that he
Mhm.
gets turned. And I'm like, I feel like that's a missed thing in a lot of trailers nowadays. I feel
Right.
like some trailers nowadays would 100% show you just so to try to get you in to be like, oh, you got to watch this movie about this guy like transforming. Like, nah, keep that out of it
Right.
because from just like as a quick breakdown of like the trailer of like what it was, it kind of showed the slums thing. Like, okay, District 9, these people come and it showed him that like, oh man, like they just like they're the trailers like, oh man, he's a fugitive now, and he was just like on his phone with his wife like, don't give up on me, don't give up on me. You just see him running and his arms covered so you never see it, you just see him running and do all these things. It's just like, oh snap, what happened to him? Like, why is he a fugitive? So like that's the whole thing of the trailer. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So that'd
Yeah.
be such a crazy twist when you see that like, oh snap, he's turning into one of them, like when you
Yeah.
watch the movie.
Yeah, I wasn't expect. I mean, like I said, as soon as he gets popped, I'm like, okay, this is something. Like
Yeah.
this is obviously not good. You get shot with alien goo in the face. That's never gonna end
Yeah.
well. So I knew there was something there, and like I said, he starts like coughing and throwing up and stuff. So I was like, this is gonna go somewhere. But I did not expect him to start turning into it. Even like when his arm turned, because there was the one guy right after this that like
Yeah.
Christopher's friend who like hits him and he hurts his arm.
Yeah.
So he had like that big rash on his arm and he had it in a sling, and then that's what turned into. So I thought maybe that was part of it. I was like, oh, because he hit him
Yeah.
and the black goo, like this was some kind of combination. It turned his arm. I didn't know he was going to continue to start changing until they
Yeah.
say it and when they're researching. But yeah, I had no idea.
Oh, that's good. You know, it's funny to me that like speaking of like Obi Sanjo, like that leader guy or whatever, you
Mhm.
like when they go into like they go into like the Nigerians and they're kind of telling their like background story and they're saying like you must eat it to get the power
Oh,
of them. I was like, for personally, I was just like, yo, with what proof? They've been here for 28 years. No one's eaten it, and it clearly has shown that it doesn't work.
yeah. I don't know. That's like, oh, and like it looked like they didn't even try and like cook
Cook
it
it,
or
yeah.
anything, and like they didn't like cut it into a piece, cook it, and then try and eat it. Like he just grabbed an arm and took a bite out of it. I'm like, this is disgusting.
I know we wouldn't do that with like
With
earth
anything.
animals, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like, why are you taking the risk? Maybe you'll get sick.
yeah, 100%. Like at least try and like cook it, and yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, yeah. But he starts turning pretty quick. Like he starts like going through it at the surprise party and everything. Like they should have canceled that party. Uh,
Well, they didn't know.
yeah, I guess that. But he was looking pretty rough.
Well, yeah, he walked. Well, dude, he walks in the door, and he's like, what did he say? A baby. Yo, Wickus was killing me, bro. All this little like banter, just like kind of. It's not even like dialogue that's meant to be part of the movie. It's just
Yeah.
like him talking like under his breath to other people, and just there's so much of it because of the style, like this found
Yeah.
footage style. And he says as he was walking, he's like, "Baby, I might have crapped my pants. I
Yeah.
gotta go to the bathroom."
And then surprise.
Yo, that was funny.
Oh my goodness.
Funny, man.
That was good. And then yeah, he passes out. You know what's crazy? Like when he gets like when he goes to the hospital and then like they realize he has the arm and the guys come in to take him, they put him in that body bag, completely zip it up. And like, how
I
did he
know, I was wondering
breathe?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, are they trying to kill him? Like, bro, like and his face is smushed against the body. I'm like, there's no air coming in there.
I mean, the point is that they're like quarantining him, right? They're
Yeah.
like, okay, this guy's turning into they don't know if this shit is airborne or
Mhm.
so they're gonna seal him up, and if he dies, he dies. I think they're like
Yeah.
they really don't care.
No, 100%. That's a good point. And then we get that part like when like they do their tests on them, and it's kind of messed up. The dad does not give a damn. Like, yeah, clearly he didn't like him
Yeah,
with his daughter because he's very quickly ready to like, yeah, let's do experiments on him. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
Like, damn, dog.
yeah, and I mean, because even after the movie when because Wickus calls her,
Yeah.
and then he's there and he's like, oh well, Wickus was never really that strong. And I was like, damn,
That's
because another
crazy.
crazy thing is like in the same scene when they're testing the weapons, and Wick is like, "No, I'm not going to shoot. I'm not going to pull the trigger. I'm not going to do it. Think about. I'm thinking about my wife and blah blah blah. I'm not going to do it." And the guy's like, "Your wife? Fuck your wife. Her dad is
Yeah.
is hearing this."
Yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think about that.
I was like, "Damn."
Yeah,
He's
so-
not even saying anything. This guy just said, "Fuck fuck your daughter.
Yeah, that's crazy work. I didn't even think
Crazy.
about that. Yeah, damn. Yeah, come on, dad.
Yo,
What
what do
the?
you like? I get if you don't care about Wickes, that's not your kid. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're an asshole, but like that's not your kid. You gotta care about your daughter,
No,
man.
100%. Yeah.
If
I,
a man says "fuck your wife" and they're talking about my daughter, nah, fuck that
yeah,
guy.
no, yeah, you're throwing hands, bro. You're throwing
Yeah.
hands. It's funny the transformation of Wicked throughout this movie because like we kind of talked about at the beginning, but like it's like after he makes his escape from like and they like after being tested on like and then he heads to District 9, like were you feeling bad for him at that point? Like at this point, he's escaping, he's making his way, or like what were kind of your thoughts on this section?
Yeah, I was kind of feeling bad for him
Mm,
because I mean, also not. I don't know. I was kind of mixed because
mixed.
I mean, like we talked about at the start of the movie, he shows he's not really any better than anybody else,
Yeah,
right? He's still an asshole. He's burning like the babies and he's kicking
yeah,
them out of their houses. Like he's an asshole too
yeah,
to the aliens. But at the same time, like when they want to test on him and all this shit, and they make him shoot that alien that he
mm,
didn't want to do. Which why? Why
yeah.
did they have to do that? That had changed nothing about the
I
test of the
know,
gun, but
I know.
just another way to show like these are the villains
Yeah,
of
piece
this
of
movie.
garbage. Yeah,
But yeah, when he finds way into District 9, he's sleeping under like cardboard and he has to eat the cat food. And I'm like, I felt a little bad for him in that sense. That was gross.
yeah, it's funny too because you mentioned the part that I was like kind of holding on to, where it's just like again, this I think it's supposed to be a complex character. Like I don't think it's supposed
Hmm.
to be like a no, you're 100% supposed to like this guy. Like look what he's going through. I think it's complex, and you're supposed to have these wave of emotions. But the thing you just mentioned, how they were burning the kids, and he's describing it like, oh, like it sounds like popcorn. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's such a messed up. That's so messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you just change those aliens, which they're not, but they're supposed to be depicted as like if you change them into humans, and suddenly they're doing that with humans, and then suddenly you got to feel bad for this guy. It's like, how can I feel bad for this guy that was freaking burning children? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And making jokes about it. It's like, oh man, it's tough to like that dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
100%.
do,
That's why
yeah. It's a
I,
mix.
yeah, like you're introduced to this character and he's a villain,
Yeah,
and then you see him kind of like learn and change and grow, which is great. It's
yeah,
great character development. But you're right, you're not supposed to just like, okay, he got shot with the goo, he's turning into an alien, now he's a perfect character and he's a Gandalf the White. No,
yeah.
he's
No,
still an asshole and he's still changing. Like you said, like burning kids, that's pretty irredeemable.
yeah.
That's not really like you could just like, okay, he's no, now he's a good guy. Like, nah, he was doing some messed up stuff.
And that wasn't his first time because he's talking about how like you hear how it sounds like popcorn. Like this is something that he's done before. The fact that I
True.
can have that dialogue about it,
Yeah,
which is just
that's a good
wild to
point.
me. Yeah. No, oh say you
Well,
gonna
I was
say?
just gonna say a question that I had, but was like, because I mentioned that he bought the cat food.
Yeah.
He goes to like the meat stand and he's like, oh, can I get some of this? How much is this? Oh, you have cat food? I'll take the cat food. Why did he get the cat food? There was regular meat right there.
But they eat it. I think it's because the aliens eat it raw though. He had no ways of cooking it, so I
Well,
don't think he wanted to
there
mess with
is.
the.
I mean, it's in the slums. There's some of those like fires and barrels and stuff. You could at least, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah,
the
I guess it's
faster
less
thing.
risky.
Yeah, and it's just the faster thing. If
That's
someone's
true.
like, "Do I want to eat raw meat or I don't want to eat the cat food?" I was probably go with the cat food. I don't know if
Ugh.
I don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean? I cook this
Yeah,
thing wrong.
yeah,
The cat food's not going to be great, but
that's true.
I would.
He takes 2 bites and then throws it away.
Yeah, I thought he was enjoying it. The way he was digging in at first, I thought he was feeling it, but then he was like, "Nah, this is ass."
Yeah, no, he was just I mean, it seemed to me, anyways, that I felt like I was like, okay, he's just like starving and he
Yeah,
needs to eat something, but like then the time card pops up and it's been like 24 hours since the
in the
contamination
yeah
or whatever the
infection.
contact
Yeah, whatever.
contact I think that they
Hmm.
say. That's not that long.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like if you don't eat for 24 hours, you're gonna be hungry, but that's not like starving, like
Yeah.
deathly, like you know what I mean?
No, 100%. I mean, I guess, yeah. I maybe that has to do with the transformation part. I don't know.
Mm,
I don't know what
yeah.
it's like to transform into an alien, so I can't speak on that. I
Yeah.
must I must say they did him dirty though. Remember when he was trying to get some food and they're saying that he's doing sexual activity with the aliens? They had the still.
Crazy.
That was
That's
crazy,
nasty,
man.
man. That's just, hey, That's they're gonna twist your words, man. That's what
Oh
the
my
media
goodness,
does. Is
bro.
nasty. And they did say earlier in the movie that there was interspecies
Yeah.
prostitution.
Which
What?
is yeah. Do they have
How?
genitalia? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like obviously they reproduce with kids with their own kids, but like, yeah, I thought that was that was
That's one
strange.
thing too. Do we ever see any like female aliens? I feel like it's only just men.
I guess we don't know.
I guess we don't
We do
know.
see one with a bra.
That's true.
Which I almost gave my, I don't know if I'm stepping on your shit. I almost gave my wackest fit because I was just like, why? Like, why are you guys wearing clothes? That's just a whole, as a whole. Why are any of them wearing? Christopher, I understand because it's a movie. We got to identify that's Christopher.
Right.
So like he's
Yeah,
wearing
yeah,
that. But like, why are any of them wearing clothes?
And I think it's like I don't know, if you find something, you're like you don't have anything else here. Like, this is my thing. I'm the guy with the bra.
Was that a guy too? I don't know.
Well, yeah, true. Maybe it was a girl. Yeah, I don't know.
Who
Yeah, it's a good.
knows?
Well, that's why she's wearing the bra, right? She's supporting her breasts.
I guess
What's
so.
your problem?
I don't know. I guess so.
Her
You've been here
alien
28
breasts.
years and they felt left out. They're like, hey, the humans are wearing clothes. We should wear clothes too.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
rest
so
of
it's weird. Some of them do, some of them don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. But it's kind of, I mean, a part of me was trying to see the perspective of the wife because then we get that call where she was like, yeah, they said that you're obsessed with them. He's like, bro, I did not do it. He said, I haven't done any pornographic activity with any alien. Why did you say it like that? Pornographic activity? Like, does that mean filming it too? Like,
Well,
also,
there's the picture
there
was
is the
there, so that
picture,
means
yeah.
yeah.
I guess so. But yeah, I know that part of me was like, man, you're gonna believe it that fast. But it's one of those things like it's dad's word versus husband's word. But it's just like, I don't know, man.
I feel
Hold
like
out.
yeah, I mean, she just didn't know what to
What to
believe,
believe.
right? She's like, my husband, he came to this surprise party, he threw up all this black goo,
Mhm.
and his arm was messed up, and like clearly he was just in the alien district. She knows that he was there.
Yeah.
So obviously something's going on, and now I haven't seen him for a couple days, and they're saying all this shit on the news. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I have no clue. And then, you know, this was a nice moment though with the call. Like, him and his wife, like, don't give up on me. I haven't
Yeah.
given up on you. Like, obviously he hasn't given up on her. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
But you know, please don't give up on me. I could fix this. And he was actually great. Charlton Copley, who plays Wickus. He was great in this.
No,
Very emotional.
Yeah, no, it was a really good, powerful scene. I agree. That's why I was like, it was tough. Like I was saying again, where it's the mixed emotions, right? Because again, this guy was did all that stuff at the beginning, and now you see him going through this, and then you see him like now he's at his lowest point. Like he's in the slums, he's eating cat food, all these things. He's crying to his wife, saying, "Don't give up on me." They tarnished this man's name.
Yeah.
He's clapping prawn cheeks. That's what that world thinks of him now.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, yeah, and I don't know, man. Like one thing I was wondering too, what your thoughts? Well, what are your thoughts on the alliance with Christopher as it was kind of going? Like, did you think they were being honest with each other? Did you think either of them was being dishonest? Like, were you expecting a turn, or did you feel like it was genuine once they started connecting?
No, I think I bought it. I was buying into it. I like their relationship. I was even buying like that they like the movie made me buy into like, yeah, these guys actually like feel like they kind of care about each other a little bit by the end of the movie. But when they start their partnership, I bought it because it makes sense. Like it's a
Yeah.
win-win on both sides, right?
Mhm.
So Christopher is like, okay, I can get this guy and he can get me this black liquids, which is I guess like their fuel for the ship.
Yeah.
And then Wickus would do it because he says he can fix their arm. And with his son being there, you know, and Christopher's like, no, don't tell him, we can't trust him,
Mm.
which that makes sense. And then they have their conversation and they come to this agreement where they're gonna like it just made sense on both sides, so I believed it.
Yeah. I guess I mean, I didn't remember it, but part of me was thinking, I was like, can he actually fix him? Or was he
Mm.
just saying that? I remember that was my only thing I was thinking about. And then later on we find out he says it's gonna take him 3 years to fix.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Well,
Christopher doesn't realize how long that is. He's like,
Yeah, I
3
think-
human years? I was like, I know how
Well, he
long.
changed it, right? Because when they go down into the basement and they get the black goo,
Yeah.
that's when he sees all like that they're testing on
Yeah.
on the aliens, right?
Mhm.
So that's when he's like, okay, no, it's gonna take me longer because I got to use all of this fuel to go back to my planet and get help and come back and save my people. Like I don't want to just leave them here and we can go up and chill, and I'll fix your arm, and then I'll go back home. Like, no, I gotta help my people. So it's
Yeah.
shifted his priority. But originally, when they made the deal, I think his plan was to fix his arm right away.
Yeah. No, yeah. I remember I was just like, I was skeptical. Well, not skeptical about like if he could actually fix or not, but I was like, how long is it really going to take? Because that was never discussed. And again, it felt like I was
Mm.
watching it for the first time. So I was like, I feel like there's something else here. I didn't remember what it was, but
Yeah, I mean, you could be right that like he always planned to say like later. Yeah, it'll
yeah.
take 3 years, and because like you said, I never said that it would be done in a week.
Mhm.
He never said that. So you're right, that could be the case. But at the same time, I feel like Christopher's like our morally right character.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy, and he's always doing things the right way. He takes care of his kid. Like, seems like a good dude. So I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to shout out the practical effects team because I remember like there's that one scene when he's like looking in the mirror. This is before they go on their mission to go and get the liquid and stuff. And he's just like he's in the mirror and you just see him like pulling off the skin and
Mm,
stuff like that. It just looks so like it just looks so good. Like
yeah.
it really looked like his arm was turning, like just like how they had the bits and everything, the claw, like yeah. I thought it was just a crazy scene looking, just seeing like the it's kind of like I guess like a little bit of body horror. Like it's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
The one thing that always gets me is anything like because we get it earlier too when his fingernails come off. I was just like,
Oh, gross.
oh my gosh, man, that always gets me.
And
Everyone, I
then like
think,
he
yeah,
pulls one out. He goes to the bathroom and pulls, like, he's one of them falls off. He's like, okay, let me try and pull all my nails off. Why?
yeah, oh my gosh, yeah,
When you
that's
want to be like, okay, let me tape them up or something, try and keep them on, not try
yeah.
and pull them out. What is he
Oh my
doing?
gosh, yeah, I don't know, man. It feels like he could feel all the pain too. It's like the
Oh,
transformation is like as everything's like peeling and ripping off, he's feeling it all, man. It's just like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
man.
That's also the performance too. Like, he's yelling and screaming in pain, which, and it feels genuine. Like, even when he tries to like cut the finger off,
Yeah, it's true.
because he's like, oh, he's gonna cut the arm off, decides to not do the whole thing and just try the finger, and he's screaming in pain. And yeah, this guy is at the lowest of lows, man.
Yeah, it really is, man. Well, we get that interaction with the Nigerians too. Like he's trying to get the weapons from them, and like I kind of liked this portion of Wickus because like, now he's kind of like a badass. It's like
Mm,
now he's on the quest to get the fluid and then he grabs the weapon and everything. I'm like, okay, now we're off to the now we're getting it's been pretty sci-fi. Now we're getting into some action because now
right.
those weapons are crazy.
Yeah. Insane. I mean, dude, anytime that we saw the testing down when they're shooting
Yeah, it's
pigs
true.
and stuff, but anytime that someone steps up and they're shooting guns, they just get obliterated. I mean, the one in that shack, like you said, with Obisanjo,
Yeah.
when he gets the weapons, he blows that guy. He just like launches him out of the
Oh my
building,
goodness, yeah, it's insane.
and everybody else kind of just like backs off because they see how powerful this thing
Yeah.
is. But when they actually get into the firefights and there's like the lightning bolt almost that just like blows people
Oh
up,
my
I'm like,
goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely insane, man. To go back to like the lab scene too, you kind of mentioned it. Like to me, I didn't love the way that Christopher kind of like froze like as
Mm,
the bullets were flying. That's definitely some like plot armor there a little
yeah.
bit, but to me it was just more so like I didn't I didn't get why he was so shocked by the testing because like I feel like it'd be different if it was like the contrast of like humans are nice, you know what I mean, and like but like you kind of like a little suspicious of them, but they treat them like garbage, like front facing all the time. So I don't know why
Right.
you'd even be surprised. Like you saw like one of the dudes just killed your buddy like in cold blood, just popped him in the head. So to the idea to think that like they're doing testing on you, I don't know why he'd be that shocked. Where it's just like he's like frozen, he can't move while there's bullets flying like that. That's not like a big knock on me for like the whole movie, but it's like one of those things where I was kind of sitting there, I was just like, why are you that shocked? They've been treating you
Yeah.
guys like garbage.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like, I don't even necessarily think though that it's him being shocked. I think it's just the weight of seeing it. Like, if
Yeah.
you're like, say it was like the black white thing, and you're in this refugee camp, and
Hmm.
then you go down into their lab, and like you said, they've been treating you like shit. Like, it's not that big of a jump to think that they could be doing this,
Hmm.
but then you physically see it.
Yeah.
You see like your boys hung up or on the table, and like That's
That's a
gonna
good
get
point.
you. You're right. He was standing there for a long time. There's bullets flying, and he doesn't get hit somehow. So
Yeah.
you're right. There was some plot armor, and even like when they first enter the room, because they come from behind them,
Yeah.
and the guy's like, "Target, fire!" and then starts shooting.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like gave him like a 2-second warning to Lucas, then turns around and runs away. Like just shoot him. What are you doing?
No,
But
yeah.
I think it was more just like seeing it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think, yeah, and to me, I was just kind of just sitting there. I'm like, dog, you're gonna get like, I wasn't sure if like, is Christopher gonna die? Like, and then he
Yeah.
didn't, which I was like, okay, whatever. He's a main character, but I was just like, okay, dog, like hide, like be upset
Yeah.
and hide. Like he's just standing there looking at the dude, and like that was one of the parts where it's like, it didn't ruin the movie for me or anything like that, but I was just kind of just like, yeah, they're pieces of shit. Move on, like more,
Yeah.
like yeah, like damn, man. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
right though. It's once seeing it.
Right, yeah, but you're right. Like it is a movie thing that like
Yeah.
you're just gonna sit there and watch while like there's a whole firefight going on behind you. It is. I did notice it too. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, he's really milking this.
Yeah, but again, I get it. I get it. I get it. So I'm curious. Like now we're kind of we like they escape. They like they're making their way back. So like, what were kind of like your thoughts on like the closing moments of the movie from like Wickus, like kind of like taking like the mini ship, the battle, and then kind of like the like how the we went back to like the documentary ending. So
Mm.
what were your thoughts?
Yeah,
There?
that's a good point actually. It was kind of cool the way they bounced back and forth between like basically the whole start of the movie is like the documentary feel, and then it's just theatrical,
Mhm.
and then we kind of get a little bit at the end, like we get the news shots from the helicopters and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But I mean, one thing that I don't want to say it confused me, but it was a thought that I had was like, why are they so like the humans? Why are they so trying so hard to stop them from leaving? They don't want these
Yeah.
aliens here.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they,
it's
they
so
hate
true.
them. You know, the guy that's like, I can't believe I get paid for this. I love watching
Yeah.
Necrons die. That guy's a sicko.
That is.
But like, they're trying to get on the ship and leave.
Yeah.
This isn't what you want. Like, why are they fighting so hard to stop them?
My thought was that at this point they realized the power of their weapons, so now they just really want because they're a weapons company, right?
Yeah,
So like, and those are the Jews were like the Americans or whatever, like especially like that guy that you were just talking about. So like, they're like, okay, we want now that we know that they have like this crazy tech, like we want to harness it. So that's I guess that's the only reason that they wouldn't
Yeah.
want them to leave. Because I don't know if like it's not like the aliens have like these special powers. They're like we want to harness their powers. I guess their powers is that they can use these weapons. Everyone's trying to
Right.
figure out like how can we use this technology? Like because they can't figure out. I'm assuming they can't how to reverse engineer this shit because it's been like 28 years and now they're still thinking about like how do we get our arms to use it? They can't even open them up. I guess I don't know. They just don't have the tech
It's
or
like
the
a
material.
genetic. Yeah, it's like a genetic thing. They said that
Yeah.
it is what it is, and we humans can't use it.
Yeah. So
But
I assume
I
that's
guess
the
you're
only
right.
reason that they don't want them
Yeah.
to leave.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. But I really like the ending of this movie. Like I said, there's like it touches on those themes again of humanity. And I mean, it's been throughout the whole movie.
Mhm.
We get the touching moment with Christopher and Wickus. He kind of like sacrifices himself, but like before this, when his kid starts up the mothership and like all the
Mhm.
machines start going, and he gets into that big mech.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Annihilates everybody in the room.
insane. Oh my goodness.
Catches
yeah.
the bullets like Magneto.
Oh yeah. I
Just
did not expect that. I'm like, damn, no wonder they don't want
know.
them to leave, yo. They gotta figure out how to harness all this stuff.
Yeah, catches the bullets like Magneto, throws it back, and then the big guy Obasanjo,
Oh
like
my
a spike to the forehead that blows up. Holy shit!
Oh my god, yeah, that stuff was nasty. Yo, shout out like Christopher Jr., bro. Like that
Facts.
him coming clutch because yeah, they again, this is the second time the Nigerians try to take the arm of Wickus, and they're like, he saved him. But this is another thing too, where it's just like where you get the complex feelings with Wickus because he turns on Christopher once he tells him it's gonna take him 3 years, and he's like, hey, Christopher, it hits him, and he tries to take over the ship and try to like figure out things his own hand. So you're kind of just like, again with this guy, like, am I supposed to like this guy or not? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's and after he gets the mech and he comes out and he sees Christopher there, he's like, you could take the prawn, just let me go.
yeah,
So he's still a piece of shit. Like he's still being an asshole. You're right. He turns on Chris and then he ditches him again. He ends up coming back for him, but yeah, I don't know. He didn't need, like, I get he was mad at Christopher for saying
3 years.
it's gonna take 3 years, but I mean, if that's what it is what it is. At the end of the day, you'd still need this guy to get up on the ship and fix your arm. You should still be like, okay, get in the ship, and then we can figure that out when we get up there. But like, let's do this right now. Like, your priority right now is getting this ship up to the mothership.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not like Christopher was dishonest with him. He was telling him, he was like, "No, well, I see what you guys are doing to my people. Like, I need to go get help. Like, I only have enough fuel to get home." It wasn't just like he was like, "Yeah, I lied to you. I can't fix you,"
Right.
or whatever. It's like, "I know it's gonna take me 3 years to figure it out." He told him straight up. He's like, "Nah, the plan's changed, bro. Like, you guys are doing some
Exactly.
crazy work over there. Like, I'm not just gonna switch you up and then I can't get home. Now we're gonna be stuck in the same situation."
Yeah, 100%. And but a point you made earlier was like, okay, now we're getting like some action. We get a lot of action here,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
great.
it's really good. Like, yeah,
Like the
that.
trucks flipping and all the mech shooting and
Oh
people
yeah.
blowing up. The guy with the sniper, he
Mhm.
takes a couple shots. Wickes turns around. That guy gets smoked.
Oh my
Like
god.
he gets shot twice in the body, then his head blows up, and we even get like blood splatter on the camera. Like the
Oh
way that
yeah,
they
yeah.
worked this into like the found footage was, again, it just really kept the consistency of the feel of this movie, which I really liked.
Oh no, yeah, no, yeah, it was so great. And then I like one of the hardest things too was when that guy was gonna shoot like the rocket launcher and Wicked just catches it. I
That
was
was
like,
tough.
yo, that's crazy. And then yeah, his arms explodes. But yeah, that again, yeah, complicated relationship because it was just a second ago we turned on him, a bastard dude in, and now he's like, okay, nah, I'm gonna save you guys. Like go to your son, you know what I mean? So it's a complex wave of emotions with that ending, and then also just a badass shootout. It
Yeah.
was just so sick.
Yeah. Which who doesn't love that?
Yeah, I know
Right. And
exactly.
then Wickes gets popped. He comes out of the machine. And then did you think, like, when Kubis is the guy's name,
Hmm.
the like the mercenary or whatever, the
Yeah,
big bad villain basically,
yeah,
when he comes up and he's got Wickes dead to rights, he's gonna shoot him, and then the aliens start to come around, and I was like, oh, I guess they see Wickes start to turn,
yeah,
so they're like, okay, he's becoming one of us, so we got
hmm,
to stick up for this guy.
yeah.
Instant decapitation.
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
was like, wait, they could do this? Why are they not fighting back more? Like
That-
this, that seems so easy.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it almost seems like they kind of have like a hard shell where it's just like bullets don't necessarily go through. I don't know. Maybe the bullets do go through them now,
No, they
but
do. They
yeah,
do.
I'm just going off Christopher because he can just run with like
Yeah.
little
Plot
shields.
armor. Like you
Yeah,
said, that's
yeah,
plot armor.
he can just run and never get touched with a bullet. But yeah, no, it's
It's like,
wild to see what they can do, and it's like, why are you guys less than here? I don't understand.
yeah. Yeah, like he ripped his head off and it looked like it was nothing. Like it was so easy. I was like, why are you guys, you're a foot taller than everybody. I feel like you can run faster. They're jumping off rooftops and stuff. I was like, guys, come on. Like,
And it's like the Nigerians have all their weapons. If they just wanted to like, there's so many of them. There's more of them than Nigerians. If they all want like, let's bum rush, grab our weapons. We see
mhm.
what one Wickus can do with with these weapons.
Yeah.
If all of them were just like squatted up and just went ham, like I don't know, man, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, they definitely could uprise, but I guess that's kind of the point, is that they could, but they don't, because
Yeah,
they're not
they're not those kind of people.
assholes like we are
Yeah.
as humans. Like we are super selfish, and it's always like a them or us thing
Yeah.
when it doesn't have to be.
Hmm.
We can live harmoniously together. And I guess maybe that's the mentality of the aliens, because the humans are nothing but assholes to them over and over. And they're
Yeah.
just, they're not really that, what's the word, like where they come back at them, like they're not really that
Like
mad at them all the
confrontational.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, they don't really. Yeah, there's never like this plotting. Like even like the Christopher thing too. Like the whole plot was just about like just leaving. You know, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, like we're planning to like to uprise for a war. You know what I mean? Like he's just like, no, we're just gonna get out of here.
Mhm.
Which is interesting too, because it's just like C- Christopher was just like he's putting that all on himself. Like he didn't want to try to form a squad or anything. Like have like a whole team of like let's work.
Well, he had the one guy
But
with
that's
him,
that's one
and he
guy.
died. Yeah.
Either the whole
Yeah.
plan was riding on just the two of them for a whole species.
Well, I guess maybe it was just because the ship was so small. Like if You know,
Yeah, I guess that's
how are you
true.
gonna get like you get 100 people that are like, okay, this is our plan. We're gonna work together. And we're gonna do this, but only 5 of us can actually go up to the mothership.
Yeah, no, I guess
I
that's
don't know
true.
how that's gonna work.
No, that's a good. That's a good point. We get yeah, then we get the whole like wrap up of like the ending of how it's like it's showing, um, what's it called? Like, yeah, again, it goes back into the documentary style. They're talking about Wickes, like kind of like they're like the legend of him, because like they're like, we haven't seen him since, and we got that final shot of him like as like I'm assuming that's him, yeah, fully
Yeah,
formed.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
100%
what
is.
I
Yeah,
figured.
yeah, 100% is him. Because like they kind of tell us because like his wife is like, oh, like I got this flower, like that metal flower, and then we see one of the aliens making it. And it's like, okay, that's definitely him. But
Yeah,
you think Christopher's gonna come back?
Christopher, 3 years. He said, yeah. He said, I promise 3 years. He's gonna come back 100%, man.
Can
Like
he
I
still
said,
change him?
he's the morally right guy. Can he change him? Like he's fully turned at this point.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
is
mean.
there any human DNA left? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I did like the touch though with the flower,
Yeah, no, that
like
was a
and
nice
his wife,
touch.
because even the way that she, like the dial, like the line that she had where she's like, all my friends say to just throw it out. It's just garbage, and it
Mhm.
couldn't be from him.
Yeah,
And she paused for a second. She's like, and I know they're right, but she
mm.
also is like, I don't. I don't know they're right.
Yeah,
Like she
because she's
says,
still
I know
holding
they're
on
right, but
to it.
yeah, she's still holding
Yeah,
on to it. And we see that it was him that made it. I was like, nice
yeah.
work, Wickes. He made his girl a little flower.
In contrast to his dad was wild. He just said
Oh
like
yeah,
he's like I forgot about him basically or whatever. It's just like I already don't think about him. I'm like your own son. What's going on in these family dynamics? Like what the hell?
yeah, dude. The fathers in this movie suck, except for Christopher. Christopher's
Yeah,
a great dad.
exactly. Oh
All
my
the human dads
goodness,
in this
man.
movie are the worst.
Like your son, I'd like to believe that my dad would think that I'm not clapping prawn cheeks and all these things. Like, I hope he'd have my back. I wouldn't want to be like some footage in a documentary where my dad's saying like, "Oh, disgusting." Like, man,
Yeah.
like I already forgot about him. I'd be like, "Yo, what the hell?"
Yeah, I mean, I guess he, at this point he would have seen him. They have the whole shootout and everything. And again, I think on the human side of we always just see it as a us versus them thing. And you
Yeah.
see that Wickus sided with the aliens, right? He's
Hmm.
fighting against humans to save the aliens.
Yeah.
So I think it's more just like a wow, he chose them over us. What's wrong with that? He's been dead to me, and I haven't thought about him since.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true. I think another thing this movie does well too, it kind of talks a little bit on the documentary. You know what I mean? Because like it's showing you the documentary styles, and especially the beginning of the movie, where it's like, hey, this is kind of be like, oh man, there's more information here. Because if you just watched the beginning like it is like of those documentaries, you think the prawns were bad people. And then it's once he's like, yo,
Mm,
turn the camera off. And then once we get because like he gets the goo in his face and all that stuff. And then we're kind of going back like, oh, this is how it really is. But then every time we go into a documentary style, or it's just like, oh, if you're just following the news, if you just follow the news, it's like prawns are bad. This guy is like is having sexual relations with them and all these things. It's just like, okay. So I think it's kind of the movie also does that too, where it's like, hey, there's always a bias
right.
when you see these documentaries.
Yeah, and that's another reason why his dad would feel that way,
Yeah.
right? If all the only information that he's getting is from the news, like we see all the other stuff that happens on the
Yeah.
inside, but he wouldn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So he would just assume that, yeah, the aliens are bad. They're in the slums, they're doing prostitution and
Hmm.
guns
Gambling and
and gambling, yeah, all this bad stuff, that it's literally just propaganda. So
yeah.
and he chose them over us. How could he? He's the worst. And
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's wild. Did you have any extra facts or any behind the scenes things that you saw that you didn't get to mention?
Um yeah, I did. So Peter Jackson, who produced the movie,
Yeah.
him and Neil Blomkamp, who's the director, we're gonna make a film adaptation of the Halo games.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but it was put on hold due to financing, and they ended up reusing some of the props originally made for the Halo film.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And so I didn't say which ones,
Mhm.
but my guess was like maybe the big mech.
Oh, okay,
Like
yeah,
in Halo, they have that, so maybe that could have been one of the things, and maybe some of the alien weapons.
yeah. Mhm.
Just my guess, but
Yeah. I was gonna ask you about that because I know you're like a big Halo guy. I don't know if you still are a big Halo guy, but I know you used to play
not much
Halo.
anymore.
Not
But
much anymore. Like, did you Did you watch any of the 3 Halo? They made 3 Halo shows. Did you watch any of them?
Nope.
Yeah, you
No,
think you
I've
would
heard
have?
they're pretty good though.
Yeah, you think you would have been hyped if they made a Halo movie to bring yourself back to 13-year-old Scott? You think you would have been?
Yeah.
You would have been
Hell
like
yeah.
seated for that?
Hell yeah. Oh my god. In 2009?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I was playing that's when I was playing the most Halo probably.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
maybe a little bit later, but around then, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I was playing Xbox all the time, but yeah, 100% I would have watched that.
That's crazy,
I
man.
mean, the shows, I don't
Mhm.
know, it to me shows is just so much more of a time commitment.
Yeah, versus just making a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
think I mean I can't speak on it because I'm like I like video games. But I've never come to be like a video game guy or anything. But like I always find it strange when it's like they make a TV show or a movie from a video game because my whole thing is like, well, we already know the story. Like a video game is literally story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just like because they're doing it with like The Last of Us, and I don't know the Halo like campaign and stuff like that, but I'd always be thinking I'm like, are they just gonna take exactly what happened in the first game and then just put it in movie form? Like,
I mean, like I said, I haven't seen the shows or anything, but I mean, I think more of the concept is you just take the world
mhm,
that exists. So you go in, you're in the future and you have the Halo rings and you're fighting on planets and you have Spartans and you have
yeah,
aliens. So you take all these characters and concepts and then you make your own story from it. You're not using the exact same
yeah,
because at the end of the day, like the campaign of a video game will just be like one mission for this character. I guess unless they die during the
yeah,
mission, but they this is a soldier that's done a bunch of missions, so you could just choose a different one or
yeah.
make up a different one.
No, I guess that's true. Well, one of the interesting fact that I saw too was that like the guy that plays Wickus, like Salto, I think that was his real name.
Charlto.
Yeah, Sharoto. Apparently, he improvised a lot of his scenes. Like, I don't know if you saw that. And it's like, in exactly like Neil's words, like, he's like, yeah, it wasn't scripted. It was his own words. He threw out what we wrote. And I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah.
Damn.
And I'm like, the balls on this guy, man. Before this, the only thing he did was the Live in Joburg, like, short.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then he's throwing out scripts in his
That's
first
it.
feature film with the guy that made the Lord of the Rings as the producer.
This guy's got cojones the size of Texas, man. That's insane.
That is
Because
insane.
I did see the same thing that he ad libbed apparently all his lines during the documentary stuff.
Yeah.
Like all the found footage stuff is all. I guess they told him like, okay, you have to you're trying to get into this house to look for guns and stuff. Like
Mhm.
the exact wording that you use isn't necessarily important. Just
Yeah.
do whatever feels right in the moment. But like that's also so impressive because every time he's talking to an alien, it's CGI. I don't know if there's like
Yeah.
a person in a suit, like a green suit or whatever, that he's actually talking to, or how the actual filming worked. But I feel like ad libbing is easy when you can bounce off of
Yeah.
someone. But if it's a CGI character, you're literally, it's just you talking to like nothing and you're ad libbing. Like
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know, it's
pretty wild.
impressive, but it makes it feel so natural and unscripted, and that's the point of
Yeah.
the documentary style, right?
Yeah. No, I think and I think it definitely worked for that. But again, I'm going back to like just the balls on this guy
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
because not even to just to ask like, can I ad lib this? Like, can we go back and forth? He's kind of just like, it's like I'm using my own words. Like the fact he said he threw out what we wrote, I'm like,
Wild.
crazy.
That's fucking wild.
That's insane, bro. It's not like this fucking Leo or Brad like on their 10th film.
Yeah.
And be like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever you say. So this guy's first feature film.
Crazy. Yeah. That's insane. Holy shit. How did they even accept that?
Yeah,
How are they like, okay, they're not just like, no. Like
yeah.
read the script. What do you mean?
I don't know, man. But that's all I got.
I got one more. I got
okay.
one more. So apparently the cat food,
Mhm.
like the whole cat food bit, was inspired by one of the producers using cat food as bait when fishing for prawns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently they were like in some of the shooting or something. Like he would go and fish and for prawns, and that's what they call them. And
Yeah.
apparently he used cat food, and it works. So prawns love cat food, so that's
Oh,
why they
okay.
worked it into the movie.
It's such a funny little thing. Interesting.
Yeah,
Why is he using cat food as bait though? That's such like a random thing to like. Let me see if this works.
maybe it's I don't know.
That's such a
I
weird
have
thing to try.
maybe he has a cat and he just like ran out of bait one day, and he's like, "Oh shoot, I want to go fishing. What should I? Oh, I have some extra can of cat food. I'll give it a shot."
I guess so.
I
Hey,
don't
whatever
know.
you gotta do, man.
It works apparently.
Apparently it works. Yeah,
Good to
interesting.
know.
Yeah, good
So
to
there's
know.
another thing. If you're ever out on a trivia show and they're asking you about prawns and what you should use and what bait works for prawns, there you go. Look at us. We're giving you all the great trivia
Yeah,
answers
you gotta
here.
you have to take notes when you listen to this podcast. Pen and paper. That's how we should start every episode, letting people know. Get your pen and paper out.
Get
What
your
to
pen and
drop some
paper.
knowledge on you for some future
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to give you all the greatest and most reliable information that you'll ever get.
Hey, we could win someone some money, yo. Let us know if we win you some money with the trivia question.
Hey, yeah, if you ever get a cat food prawn question, you gotta credit us
Yeah, you
in
might
the
be
answer.
Jeopardy. This might be a Jeopardy question.
Ooh, there you go.
Never know.
What is cat food? All right.
That's it. It's time.
Time for the filmies then?
It's time.
Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Filmies. This is our award show. Dion mentioned it earlier. We're gonna give 6 awards to the movie. It's all fun and games, and well, some of them I guess are pretty serious, very serious.
Yes.
And we're just gonna jump right into it with our first one being the fit check.
Right.
So I guess you didn't give it to the alien in the bra.
No, I didn't.
But who got your best or worst fit of the movie?
So I went best fit. I was definitely leaning. I was like, I might want to give it to that bra for a worst fit, but there was something that I actually did enjoy, and it was I'm giving my fit check to Obi Sanjo.
Okay.
So like the what was he, a drug? Is he a drug lord, or he's just like a?
I don't think they had drugs.
No,
I
I
think
don't think they had
it
drugs.
was weapons.
Weaponry.
It was
Yeah.
weapons.
What do you call someone that deals weapons?
An arms dealer?
An arms dealer. Yeah. So I guess he was. I think they were doing more than that too, but mostly I think most weapons.
Prostitution.
But, yeah,
and
doing a
just
mix of,
probably gambling too.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
exactly. All the good stuff. So I gave him my fit check because he actually had 2 fits, but the fit that I gave him one was he had like the black military boots, he had the cargo khakis, he had like this worn leather jacket, which at first I didn't realize it was a leather jacket because it's so worn out. But then he's got like the cut camel sleeves on top of the vest. He got double chains. He's all dripped out. He's got a watch, rings, and then I couldn't tell what it was. I kept trying to like scroll through the movie and then also like see some images on IMDb. I think he had like a chicken head on a like necklace. I think it was a
Damn.
chicken head. I couldn't tell.
Like a real chicken head?
I think so. I couldn't tell if it was poultry or whatever kind of. I don't know what kind of bird it was, but I'm just gonna go with chicken head because I feel like chicken's the main thing. People have chicken feet, so maybe it was a chicken head. I don't know, but he gets my fit check.
What part of the movie was that? I don't remember this. This
It's the
fit
first
sounds
time we
insane.
see him. It's the first time we see him. Like when they're first showing, they're introducing him. They're like, "Oh, watch out for those guys," like that kind of thing.
Okay.
They kind of show him, and I was like, "Okay." I kind of mess with the camo thing. He put some effort. I'm giving it to him because he put some effort. Because the fact that he had the worn thing, and the fact that the camo vest, you could see that it was cut, so some effort was put in. Even in the slums, though, you got to drip out. So
yeah,
I'd
he's
give him
probably
some-
the richest. He's got to be the richest man in
That's
there.
true. He's double chained
But,
up too. I'm rocking.
yeah.
I only got one chain, but I was doing this I did the one
Trash.
chain for him. Yeah.
You should deal more guns, then you'll get
Yeah, then I get more chains, 100%.
Yeah,
What about
that's
you?
a good fit. I did not clock that. Honestly, if I would have seen it, I probably would have clocked it. But
I mean, there wasn't a lot of fits. That's how I felt.
No,
so I was like,
exactly. That's what I'm
leaned
saying.
to that.
well, because mine, I gave it to Christopher, dude.
Oh my
You got. I mean, you talked about like they have to do it so we can identify this alien, but like I don't know. He's obviously he's in the slums. You can't afford anything, but he's got like it's almost like khakis. They're like rags that he put around his legs. It's like a light tan color. They're almost like khakis, and the red like jacket thrown together. I don't know. It was tough.
You know, I kind of felt like you were going when I was dissing them why they wearing clothes. The way you're laughing, I was like, he definitely gave someone.
Dude, I literally didn't notice anything else. I was like, what? I went back to the party,
Yeah.
the surprise party. I was like, maybe someone was wearing a nice like dress or a nice shirt or something. They were all wearing basic shit. Nobody was swagged out for Wickus's party. Everyone's in scrubs or they're just like an alien or in a military uniform. So I don't know. it stood out to me because it's meant to. It's meant to be
Yeah.
like, okay, that's Christopher.
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
was like, I
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at
yours
it.
is better though. Yours,
Yeah.
if I would have noticed yours, I would have given it. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I'm not loving my last two fits, to be honest, because it's like it's one of those movies where it's just like, sometimes we were like, there was a lot of fits in this. It was like I
Mm.
litter to choose from. I always feel like kind of like empty in my stomach when it's just like I'm scraping for a fit.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? It's just like
I know.
I guess I'll
But we
go
got to
with
pick one.
this one. Yeah.
Or
I-
should we, if it's that bad in the movie, be like, nope, I'm not
Yeah.
giving a fit check. I refuse. I'm withholding my fit check.
If it's that bad, then maybe it's that bad. I don't know. Or maybe I should just stuck with my worst fit. But yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
true.
goodness.
Oh, well.
that I like that bit. I might do that.
Yeah, just
ref-
withhold.
I'm
I
just withholding
refuse.
all my awards. I'm lazy this week. Let's move on.
All right. Next up, we got
Oh
our
my
Ferris
God.
Bueller Award, which is our lazy award.
Yeah.
So, who was the laziest person in this movie, Dion?
So I gave it to Christopher, as you just gave him a fit check. I gave it to Christopher
Okay.
for it's almost on two folds. The main thing for me is just the fact that like when the guys come in and they're like, and he's like telling his friend about like the fluid or whatever, and like they're like, oh snap, like hide this, like he's like, oh, like you take this, you hide it, and like and be nice to them. I'm like, yo dog, like you take it. You know what I mean? This thing is that we know the importance of this thing. You take it and you run and hide. They're not even looking for you. They never saw
Yeah.
you. You take it and then come back or do something with it. Why are you telling this guy to do everything? So first of all, hide it, and also go and then tell them and be. Which again, the man was not polite. I don't know what that was
Yeah.
something we didn't talk about. I don't know why he acted like that.
That's a good point.
You have a whole lab in here that you want to be hidden. They come over, you open the door, you shut it in their face. Like, what the heck? That's exactly the opposite of what Christopher Nolan would do. What are you doing?
That was a bad move. Yeah.
Terrible
100%.
move. Give them your scroll. They'll move on. They won't even probably check your house.
Yeah.
That was
100%.
horrible. But again, not to go off on him, Christopher, I'm giving him because you take the fluid. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
At this point,
I mean,
I didn't realize how important it was, but
it's a really good point because I was kind of thinking that too. Because he's sneaking out the back.
yeah.
And I'm like, if you're doing this, the whole point is so that you can get away without being noticed. Take the fluid with you. Why leave it in the house?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a great point.
I like nothing else mattered if they went in there and they ransacked it, but as long as you have the fluid, because again,
Yeah,
at
who
this point, I
cares?
completely forgot. I didn't know how important it was. I didn't know that's just like literally the thing that can help them go home, and you're just gonna be lazy with it and be like, "Yo, you hide it," and I'm just gonna get out of here.
Yeah. If he was staying, if you were just gonna hide it, then you might as well. We know Christopher, like he's a smart guy. He would have
Yeah.
been. You should have just gone to the door and been like, and been polite to them and try and send them away. Like why sneak out if you're? What's the point of sneaking out in that case?
I don't even know why you snuck out. You're not allowed
That's
to
what I'm
have
saying.
two.
That's what I'm saying. Why did he sneak out?
Yeah, like, two aliens can't be in a house together.
If you're gonna sneak out with the fluid, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You're trying to get this fluid out of here because it's 20 years that you've been trying to accumulate this and it's very important. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're gonna leave it in the house, why sneak out?
yeah. Just leave the house. Be like, "Oh, what's up, guys?" And then like, you're walking out. Like, "Oh, you're gonna go see my dude? All right, cool." And then just walk out.
That would have been funny if he just like we see him casually strolling and just wave like
Yeah,
"Hey, what's up?"
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, Christopher, man. I'm sorry. You got my Ferris Bueller for that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
What about you?
My Ferris Bueller award. I gave it to two people actually. So
Okay.
I gave it to Fundiswa and Thomas. So these
Okay.
are the two guys that are with Wickus when they're going in and evicting people.
Mhm.
Thomas is the like the soldier,
Yeah.
and Fundiswa is like the intern, like that black guy
Oh,
that they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
give a vest to.
yeah.
When he's in the truck, he's like, "Wait, I don't get a vest." He's like, "You'll be fine." Immediate gunshots. But anyways, I gave it to them because when Wickus gets shot with the black liquid,
Yeah.
and he starts throwing up and whatever, and he gets thrown by the alien and he hurts his arm. They're like, "Man, maybe you should go to the hospital. Maybe you should get that checked out." And he's like, No, I'm fine. And they're like, "Okay." I'm like, "Okay, that's whatever."
Yeah.
But then later they go and get food,
Mhm.
and he sneezes out black goo, and there's black goo dripping out of his nose. take him to the hospital. Like at that point, like they said again, they're like, maybe you should go get checked. No.
Yeah.
You have if you have black goo coming out of your nose, I'm not asking you,
Yeah.
do you want to go to the hospital? I'm taking you to the hospital. Like the first one, like I said, he threw up and he messed up his arm.
Yeah.
You know, I could say maybe you should go to the hospital, but if you're like, no, I'm fine. I'm not gonna fight you on
Yeah.
it. Sure, you don't want to go to the hospital. You have black goo coming out of your nose, you're going to the hospital.
That's a very good point. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they even asked him at that point. Like, yo, do you want to? Did they ask him, do you want to go? I think they were just concerned, and there was no
yeah.
question asked.
Maybe they did. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good.
They just didn't want to go.
Sure.
They were lazy. Like,
they
man,
were lazy.
My shift's over. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's got a surprise party at home.
Yeah,
we can't hold him up. Just let him go.
Oh my goodness, that's a very good point. That's well deserved. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, like black, because it's not like, oh, a nosebleed. Oh, maybe he gets nosebleed. Black stuff coming out of your
and
nose.
You just came out of an alien refugee camp.
That's what I'm saying.
So you could have, that there's a risk to pick up some alien parasite or some disease or something. Black goo coming out of your nose, I'm not letting that slide.
Oh my god, yeah, well deserved. What were their names again?
Fundiswa and Thomas.
Well deserved, man.
Lazy
asses, man.
All right, next up we got our Nas Reed Award. This is our 6-man award. So someone in the movie with a smaller role that showed out, did the most in that role, and we want to show him some love. So Dion, who gets your Nas Reed Award?
So my Nas Reed Award goes to Jason Cope. So Jason Cope was he's actually in the movie. He was like talking during the documentary. He's one of those guys, but he also is the guy that did all the motion capture. Like they only had one guy that did all the motion capture, which I didn't understand.
Damn.
Yeah, he did because a lot of times when they're doing CGI, they didn't, because you mentioned that earlier, and I didn't say anything because I know I was going to talk on it, where they had, like when he was improvising, there wasn't anybody there a lot of the time. He was like, when he was like kicking at things and be like, oh, let's talking. Sometimes there's nobody there, but like when they had sometimes like the Christopher moments, where it's like very much a one-on-one, then they had like that Jason Cope guy come in. So I gotta give him a 6-man because this guy was doing a lot, man. To me, it's just interesting that they had only one guy. Like no one else could throw on a suit. Like they're all actors. Like, only Jason's capable of just doing motion capture movements because he didn't have to talk. He just had to be there and like be in his little thing and do click sound. Maybe they only fit him, the suit. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of scenes with multiple aliens
on purpose, I guess.
Yeah. But like even the sun, so maybe the sun was completely CGI. There wasn't motion capture.
Yeah, true.
Because if he was mini, but like that still is weird.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that you gave him the award because, like you said, he did a lot.
Yeah, he did a lot. I was just like, I thought it was interesting. I was like, is that his boy or something? Is that Neil's boy? Like, why did you give Jason so much responsibility?
Yeah,
just to do all the motion capture.
And he was also one of the interviewees, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, jeez.
so I don't know, but yeah, he gets my 6-man for that.
Great pick.
What about you?
I gave it to Christopher's son.
Okay, yeah.
Just the character. I mean, he's just a nice little guy. He wants to go home. I mean, he's the pure essence. He's like a human kid.
Yeah.
Right. Like when Christopher's showing him like the brochure, he's like, no, we're not going home. We're gonna go to this place. This could be our tent. And he's looking around. He's like, man, how many planets or how many moons does our planet have? Can we just go home? And he just wants to like play with Wickus too. Like he's just a nice little kid. Really humanizes the aliens and his dad as well. And also he's the one that calls the mothership in, saves Wickus, and stud.
No, 100%.
The whole movie changes.
He was literally my 6-man for all the reasons you said. Like he came clutch until I saw that little tidbit about Jason, where I was like, that's crazy. I got to give it to him. But that's a great 6-man because he literally was my 6-man up until I saw that little tidbit about Jason. So no arguments for me.
Yeah, like you said, came in clutch.
Yeah,
just a kid calling in a mothership.
Just a kid.
Nice work. All right, next we got our favorite quote. What was your favorite quote?
This was easier for me because as soon as I heard it, this is like I had an audible laugh. Like this is movies you watch a movie where it's like, okay, that's funny or whatever. But like I actually laughed because I did not expect it. It's one of Opie Sanjo's lieutenants. I don't know if you remember this. It's when Wickus goes over. And this is after that image came out of them knowing that like he had sex with whoever. So his lieutenant's like, it's like, how did you do this one, my man? It's doggy style with the demon. you, you one brave white man. Were you wearing a condom?
Doggy style with the demon. That's crazy.
I'd be dying when I heard that, man.
Oh, man.
You a
I did
brave
not
white
clock
man.
that.
You didn't hear it?
'Cause,
Or you just
well, I was watching. I noticed the doggy style. I remember hearing that, but I didn't remember the whole quote.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much like background noise that's going on throughout this movie, which again like kind of really grounds it and makes you feel like you're in it.
100%.
Like it's not like, if you're in a movie and there's two characters talking in the middle of a mall and you just hear these two characters because it's a movie.
Yeah.
But like we're in the slums and you hear all this background noise and there's all people talking over each other and like the
100%.
found footage style. It's just so scrapped together. It's not perfectly red lines, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, when I heard him say it's doggy style with the demon, I rewind it because I'm like, this is gonna be my quote. Let me hear this whole thing.
Let me.
That's crazy.
That's a good pick.
Oh my god.
Mine, I gave mine to Wickus.
Okay, yeah.
And it's when he's talking to he says it to Fundiswa, which is like I said his intern or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's when they're burning the eggs.
Yeah.
And he's putting the mask on. He's like, you don't need to wear that. Only sissies wear that. Take that off. I was just like it just made me step back. I'm like, you're burning alien eggs.
Yeah.
I would want to wear a mask. Like, I don't know what kind of fumes is coming off that shit. I don't want to breathe that shit in. Like for sissies, you're fucked.
That's kind of foreshadowing too.
True.
Because maybe if he was wearing a mask, that he wouldn't have been infected. I think that shit went in his mouth and in his nose. Like I don't know if entering through the eyes what got him. That shit get his whole face. But like, hey,
honestly, that should have been a lazy word too. Wickus. If you're messing with like an alien, if you're messing with any type of machine or something you don't know, don't point it right at your face. What are you doing, man?
I don't. Yeah, why is he messing with things, dog? You're not in science. You shouldn't be turning tubes and like things that have liquid in them. Like, come on, bro.
Point it at your face.
Oh, yeah,
don't do that.
Crazy.
That's a bad move.
Terrible.
But yeah, the mask, I was just like, he said that line and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's good.
No. All right. Next we got our best scene. What was your favorite scene?
So my favorite scene was it's the final shootout. Like we were hyping it up. Like I basically said all the things. It's like I was locked in. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, because again, like I said, I've seen this movie, but I haven't seen it since it came out. So I didn't remember how it was, like what was gonna happen next. So I was locked in. I was like, oh, are these guys gonna make it? Is someone gonna die? Like I don't know. Is that kind of movie? The gore was wild. We talked about like the exploding people was just
crazy.
Insane, man. Like when he got into that armored suit, it was just like a whole nother. It's just a whole nother thing where I was like, oh, this is another level. Before he had the gun, it was crazy. Now he's in this armored suit, rocket. You said he had his Magneto moment. Like it was, and it was like it left me in the question too. Like it left me after I was like, I wonder how genuine that relationship, like that bond they formed. Like, will he come back? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it left you like with that question. You assume he'll come back, but
there's even that question that I think it's Jason Cope actually that says in the interview after, he's like, we don't know if Christopher is going to come back and declare war or if he's going to come back and get his people or,
No,
I mean, there's the sequel District 10. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, it never came out.
Oh, it never came out.
No, it never.
Oh, I didn't even. I just saw the
poster.
I saw people talking about it. But
some people talking about it. It's been in post production for long. Like I mean, I don't even think it got post. Like they even started filming or anything. But it's been in talks forever, and it just kind of got pushed to the wayside. I don't know if it'll ever happen.
Do you think that would be like it would be? I'm assuming it would be Christopher coming back, or maybe not. It could just be something in the other in District 10, which is I guess that's what it would be if it's called District 10. Then I guess that would be in the new refugee camp.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what it'd be, but I guess then maybe it would be like Christopher comes back and sees how much worse it's gotten. Maybe it's gotten better. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's so long ago now at this point. Like we're like 16
Okay,
years
yeah.
in the
Well,
future.
we
So
just
it's
got
like
Gladiator too.
that's true. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, with 24 years later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you never know. I think I'd still be kind of interested. I'd check it out if it happened, but
Hmm.
I just wonder where you'd go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your scene, I like that. Yeah, the climax is great. You're right. The action really jumps up. The moment with Christopher that is you're right. It leaves you the question like, is Wickus a nice guy? Like we've seen him do all this terrible stuff
Mhm.
and be an asshole a bunch of times. There's even the moment when he leaves Christopher, ends up coming back to save him. So we don't know is this guy a good guy or not. But it's still a nice moment for our main character when he gives himself up,
Yeah.
and then the aliens come and save him. We get that nice moment. Christopher and his son make it onto the ship and fly away. Um, I think also like Charlton Copley,
Okay.
who's who plays Wickus.
Yeah.
He's great in the scene. Like when he's yelling, "Fuck you,
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
you, fuck you," as he's shooting everybody. It's so funny, man. He's in the back and he's just yelling at everybody. It's amazing.
Oh
Great scene.
yeah, no, he says "fook" so many times in this movie, man. It's great, man. Like, yeah, even when he actually had me dying too. It was, like, scene I was talking about when he's peeling up this kid, he's like "fook, fook, fook,
Oh,
fook."
fuck you, man. His like South
Oh,
African accent is
yes,
hilarious.
that was great, man. Yeah, no, he was really great. And the
Mhm.
fact that like like we talking about how he improv and all these things, and just like yeah,
Mhm.
he's a great performance.
Yep.
Is this your best scene too? Because you're talking about my best scene.
This is my best scene too.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I see you like listing things. I'm like, it seems like he's got notes on
Yeah.
this scene too.
Yeah, I honestly I started talking and I was like, wait, I didn't say that this was my
Yeah.
best scene, but I just kind of talked about it and I was like, I'll say it after, whatever. But
Okay.
that is the certified best scene of the movie
Hey,
because it's
certified.
also my best scene. Everything that you said. Christopher even says 3 years, I promise. Oh,
Yeah.
that's my guy, man.
Yeah. No.
Christopher.
No.
I
Christopher is
trust
dope.
Christopher. You
Christopher
said,
is
is he
dope.
coming back? He's coming back. He's a
I.
real one.
We'll see.
All right. Last but certainly not least, we got our MVP award. So who is the most valuable player for this movie?
So I gave it to Imagine Engine, which is the VFX team. So it's
Mm.
a Canadian VFX company. Actually, I saw
Oh,
that.
nice.
And
Cool.
so I was just watching like a behind the scenes thing, kind of like on the VFX, because one of the things that I think is really good about this movie is that the CGI holds up. Like we're talking a movie that came out in
Yeah.
2009. I thought it still looked really excellent. Because a lot of times you go back and it's just like you watch a movie and like, ooh, that doesn't look great, but I'm just gonna ignore that and just focus on the story. But I feel like I still think it looks really good, and I'm giving it to them because I just saw how hard the work that they had to put in, because I don't know much about VFX, but I was learning as I was watching this one video. There's something called a clean slate shot. So clean shot. So like, let's say like I'm gonna be turned into CGI Hulk or whatever, right? So I shoot a scene and it's just me talking into this microphone, whatever. And then the next thing you do, and it's just a simple shot, the camera's not moving, it's right there. And then the next shot, what you do is that I leave and then you just record the same shot, but without me being there. So then when you try to follow my movements, you at least have a background that you can reference, and then you just put in the movements of me, but like now as the new CGI character. But
Mm.
the way this movie was shot with the handheld and all like the shaky camera and stuff, it made it almost impossible for them to track a lot of
Right.
that stuff. And like it wasn't working within green screens and like blue screens that have like dots and all these things, like these tracking things you could track. Cause like that makes it easy for them to like hold the CGI in its spots. They didn't have all that. So they literally had to create backgrounds all the time for every single scene, and then try to make sure you attach like the characters into the spot. It was just so complicated for them, especially back in
Yeah.
2009 too. Like we're way more advanced with just the things you can do with the VFX, but like they just talk about how painstakingly it was, of like frame by frame. This is almost like some Transformer shit, because we talk about how hard they worked.
Right.
They
Yeah.
had to go frame by frame and be like, okay, we have to cut this guy out. Now we have to paint the background, and then let's put a CGI in here. All right, next frame. Did it like for like
Jesus.
absolutely so much work. When I saw that, I was like, these guys, I got to give these guys a shout out, because not only did they do that, it still looks good too. So
Yeah.
their work paid off
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
everything they put in.
I mean, you're right. It looks good. 100%. It looks good, especially for 2009. I think that was honestly like the peak of CGI, and now we're on a decline at this point. I
Yeah.
don't know how that's
Yeah.
possible, but I think we're on a decline at this point. But you're right. It looks great. And your point about shaky cam,
Mm.
that's I didn't think of that, but that totally makes sense. Like doing it on where the shot's sitting still, I can't imagine is that hard to do. You know,
Mm.
you move your character around, but to have your characters move and be in the right spot while the frame is moving around, that's got to be impossible.
Yeah, and again, especially back in 2009, like very limited in the tech that you could deal with compared to like what you have now. And one of
Hmm.
the things I thought was interesting too, just about the visual effects in general, like I thought, like Neil, the director, he talked about how the reason why he thinks also this is a theory of his, like he's like, I feel like that you don't like nowadays they put so much importance on the special effects, like on the CGI, and which is interesting because Avatar came out that same year, which is like that's a movie that puts a lot of emphasis on the visual effects. It's like you're watching this movie and it's like, look how good these visual effects, and it's like we have
Yeah.
our some scenes, like we have scenes where we get a little closer, like Christopher and all that stuff. But he's like, but the way we started the movie, we wanted it to feel like it was like just this little side thing. Like when you're first seeing the aliens, it's dark. We got the shaky camera. We're more focused on the humans. The humans are like, oh, look at these aliens. They're kind of like never in the center of the frame. They're kind of off to the side. Oh, look at them over there. They're in the distance. He's like in my his theory is that like it helps your eyes just accept it easier in the sense of like, it's not like you're starting the movie and it's like, oh, like we're seeing these CGI aliens in the CGI planet and everything's just CGI. And you're just like, okay, I'm watching like this CGI movie versus like we're starting out with some humans. Oh, like those little alien things are in the background. Then your eye, he says that like your eyes just accept it. It's like, okay, this is it. This is what the world looks like. And then when you bring them in closer and stuff like that, your eyes already accepted it versus like
Right.
when you put too much importance on it, then it becomes like this distracting thing of like, that's a CGI thing that he's talking to or whatever is, or like that just looks so different. Like I feel like the tone and like the texture of like how the character looks like all the guys were kind of like dirty and stuff like that. There was some like clean moments like when they were like in the lab and stuff, but the most part like everything was just dirty. The people were dirty and just as dirty as the aliens. So they all kind of like felt like they're on the same level.
Yeah. 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 And I mean, it's a good point. That like you kind of make it secondary, kind of
Mhm.
put it in the back, and then that also like it almost lessens the importance of it because if you put it right in the center of the frame, right in front of your face, it has to be good.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then you're just going to be like, okay, this like this is what you're focusing on,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't look good, then it's not going to be good. If you kind of hide it away in the back and make it secondary, and if it's a little bit off, it's almost less of a big deal. So it lowers the importance of it. And if you're already going to have difficulties because you want to have the shaky cam style, then you're just helping out your VFX guys.
Yeah. No, 100%. So I had to give them some love for that because just seeing all
Yeah.
the work they put in and like I think the visual effects were really great. So I give them the MVP for that.
Good pick. My MVP goes to Neill Blomkpamp. So
Well
the
deserved.
director,
Well deserved.
writer is co-writer. He
Yeah.
co-wrote with his wife actually.
Oh, I didn't realize it was his wife.
Terry Tatchell. Yeah,
Okay.
apparently that's his wife.
They don't have the same last
Um,
name, I guess.
Yeah.
Eh.
But yeah, I think we talk about the feel, the tone, the style. Like you said, everything visually feels like they're on the same level. Tonally, like in the movie, feels like they're on the same level. Obviously, the characters don't feel like they're on the same level, but
Yeah.
that's the point.
Mhm.
But it's so unique. Like I've never seen an alien movie like this. It's
Yeah.
not. It's always like just a fight. It's
Yeah.
always just the aliens trying to kill us, and we're trying to kill them, and that's. But to weave in these serious themes
Mhm.
into the story that are also based on real events, like we talked about District 6 in South Africa and
Yeah.
Cape Town. You know, to work in these real themes. He's South African, so he would have lived through this conflict. So working in these serious tones, into an alien movie, I thought was really done well. The way they make us feel emotionally about aliens, and then we have Wickus, like we said, who's kind of a very complex character where you feel good for him, you feel bad for him, you hate him, you love him. Like
Yeah.
there's so much going on with that character. He's so well written. I just thought he did a great job with this movie.
Yeah, I agree. And to your point, yeah, it's like we talked about the movie, just the complex like emotions you feel toward Wickes, and yeah, it really is such a unique movie because I can't think of the top of my head of like how many times you get an alien movie where it's like the alien movies are the lower than, you know what I mean, or it's like they're the ones
Mhm.
that you not necessarily said not necessarily like that you side with, because I guess you could literally say Avatar, you're on the side of them versus the humans,
But
but
at that point, because the humans are the aliens in that one, they're
yeah,
coming to their
that's
planet.
true. Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, it's just a unique take on just like having aliens come to the planet, and usually it's just like, oh snap, the mothership's landing. Is it war? Like, what's gonna happen? But it's like, oh no, like they're actually like struggling right now. Like they're starved, and like they're the ones that are kind of like are trying to work their way up. Yeah, it's just a unique concept.
Yeah, anytime you have an alien invasion, you just assume it means war and death, and they're
Yeah,
coming to kill us all.
exactly.
And they take it a totally different direction, which is so unique. I've never seen any kind of anything like that in a movie before, and it's a great concept, but then also well executed. And his style of like the documentary, the shaky cam, like because that's what he did on his short film. It's he to take that and then realize it into a full feature. Impressive.
Yeah, no, it's well executed. It's a great MVP. I'm definitely not mad at that.
Yeah, yours too. I
Yeah,
liked yours too.
thank you. Do any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Uh, nah, District 9.
Yeah,
Good movie. Great movie.
yeah.
I liked it.
It's funny as
Another
yeah,
good pick. I've said this every
yeah,
week for the real March Madness, but hey, our film fan, they're making good picks, man.
yeah, no, 100%. It's funny as I say you wrap it up. Now I'm just thinking about that's my freaking quote. Did Wickes wrap it
Tano,
up? Yeah, I mean
did
he
he?
didn't actually have sex with it.
Doggy style with the
Oh
demon.
my god. And on that note, yeah, another great pick by the family. Next week we got Rush Hour, which is our winner. We'll give some love. We still haven't decided what we're gonna do. We'll see.
Do something special.
We'll see. It's to get tune in for that. But thanks again for listening, guys. You can connect with us, like I said, on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at the Film Room Pod. You can DM us, comment sections, reply to our stories. We'll always answer. People are giving us movie recommendations. They give us their opinions. Our family reunion, we always posting on the Fridays or Thursday. They could be any of those days, Thursday, Friday. So stay tuned for
Yeah.
that. Check our Instagram stories. You can give us your awards too if you think that you have a better MVP or better fit check or worse fit check or whatever it is. We just love it. We love going back and forth with the family. And if you've been rocking with us for a couple episodes, I assume you're a fan of us. So hit us with a review, and we'll read it on the pod. How many stars, Scott? I always forget.
9.
9 stars.
9
I
stars.
mean, I don't know if we can actually do 9, but we'll settle for 5 if you.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Yeah,
can't
I
do
guess.
9, we'll settle for 5. It helps us grow, and it's just an awesome way to. It's always awesome to hear back from you guys. Just hear your opinion on what you love about the show, or what you not know what you love about the show. Because if you're rocking this, you love the show. But to end it off, I'll say, always remember, if aliens ever come to the planet, don't panic. Let's give them some cat food. Peace out.
Peace out.